This is Al from the Comic Hall Roundtable discussion, and I'm coming at you with part 2 of my Comic Hall, courtesy of Dave's Toys and Comics and Toys, however you want to say it, in Fayetteville, Georgia. This was about a few weeks ago. I'm basically going to show some of the newer books that I got around that time, after the fact. I'm also going to show some of the Marvel Team Up and Marvel 2-in-1s. I got a gang of those, but I'm only going to show a few. And last but not least, I'm going to show an AOK that I received from one of our fellow panelists, Sean, aka Steak Puff 1983, and another member of the comic community, Varangian Vigilante. Both of them are on Instagram, and both of their channels are actually linked under our preferred channels to subscribe to, so check them out when you get a chance. So what I'm going to do is start off with the new books first, and then I'm going to go to the books that I picked up from Dave's, and then lastly I'm going to go with the AOK. First on the list is Home. This was a book that I actually saw online. The premise is pretty interesting. I'm into indie books. Been picking up a lot of independent books lately. Image, Boom Studios, IDW. A lot of good books are coming out of these indie publishers, so don't sleep on them. I know DC and Marvel are like the two big top dogs on the hill. But needless to say, Image is putting out some pretty good stuff. So I picked up Home #1. And I also picked up a couple of the women variants. I think the Women's Month variants. I don't really collect this book, but I like the cover. This is Silk. Dope cover. I figured I would pick it up just for the aesthetics. I think Jim Bartel is the actual artist. Someone in the comments can actually correct me, but I believe Jim Bartel is the artist. But this was a dope cover. And I also picked up the X-Men Emma Frost. Now, of course, I'm an X-Men collector. It was a dope cover. Emma Frost, I couldn't pass it up. So those were the only two books that I actually picked up in reference to Women's Month. Another indie title that I picked up, Nuclear Family. This one's by Aftershock Studios. This is a great read. I love this book. This book pretty much it's one of those type of books where you have to actually be a reader of comics and want a good story. But this particular book started off really good, really strong, so I figured I would go ahead and move forward with it. But if you don't know anything about it, Nuclear Family essentially is about a story of a middle American family, that got caught up in a nuclear explosion. So basically that's where the story starts. So like I said, it's a pretty good read. So it's right there at the ground floor. So if you can get into it, get on it. This one I picked up because of the cover. I'm not really into Dracula, but Code of Dracula was one of those books that I saw the cover and figured I would pick it up. I'm not sure who the actual publisher is, but it's written by Rich Davis, and I guess the artist by Henry Martinez, if you can see that right down there. They had a B cover for it, but I really wasn't into the B cover per se, so I just went ahead and picked up the A cover and rock with that. So I might crack open and read it, and I might find a digital copy online to check out. Next book, A Girl Walks Home in the Dark or at Night, one of the two. Can't really see. You can see it now. This is, I think, a B cover variant. This is a dope cover. I really like this cover. So I saw it and figured I would pick it up. I saw it with some scuff marks towards the top. But what I ended up doing is buying another one online at eBay, and I got it for close to cover price. But yeah, I like this cover so much. I think I'm gonna get it slabbed. Now, this reminded me of that. It's a Moon Knight book. I don't know which one it is, but Bill Sienkiewicz actually drew it, and I think it's a white wolf on the cover with a backdrop. A black backdrop, excuse me, and he's dripping blood from his fangs. I'm just messing up all kinds of ways, but yeah, that reminded me of this book, so I wanted to pick this one up. This was a dope cover. Now, to round off the new books was the other history of the DC universe. This is the A cover. It was a 3-part series under the DC Black label. The first book was very narrative driven. It wasn't really characters that were actually talking, but basically it gives a backdrop of what happens to various other characters in the DC universe during certain times, predominantly minorities. So I haven't read 2 or 3, so at some point I'll catch up. I think this one was the last one. Could be wrong, but I like that cover. They had like a couple of covers, and I think that's Katana from the Suicide Squad. So yeah, I'm gonna end up reading these eventually. So these are the new books that I got during that time frame, and now I am going to show some of the Marvel Team Up books that I picked up, starting with the Marvel Team Up Annual number 3. Hulk teaming up with Power Man and Iron Fist. Hulk is using somebody as a bat against Luke Cage. This particular book, along with the others that I'm going to show, they actually came out of a dollar bin. So each of these books that you see will be dollar bin books, because I bought a whole bunch of them. So next up, Marvel Team Up number 32, The Human Torch and the Son of Satan, a match made in Hades, and both of them are heat related superheroes. So as with always with the most of the Marvel Team Up books, I've noticed most of the time have the those that are teaming up against each other beating each other up. I don't know why they did that, but apparently that was like the ongoing theme. But this is Marvel Team Up Volume 1, number 32. Marvel Team Up number 35, The Human Torch and Doctor Strange. And I hope you all are liking my statues over to the right. I did get those courtesy of Dave's Comics. I'm a huge fan of anime, My Hero Academia, so I got Mineta, aka Grape Juice, and I got Momo, aka Trieti. I ain't gonna lie, Grape Juice is one of my favorite characters from the anime. But I digress. But anyway, back to the comic books. Marvel Team Up number 35, The Human Torch, Doctor Strange. Marvel Team Up number 38, Spider-Man and Beast. I think they're fighting. Yep, they are fighting the Griffin, but they're not beating each other up, which is cool. Marvel Team Up 44, Spider-Man and Moondragon. Looks like they got some help. The Vision. Marvel Team Up 55. I already have a copy of this, so I'm gonna actually A-OK this to one of the panelists on the panel. This is actually a key. I cannot remember specifically what it is. I want to say it's one of the first appearances of one of the Infinity Gems Yeah, I want to say it's one of the first appearances of the Infinity Gems. I'm not really sure, but I believe that's the case. Someone in the comments section can check me. Marvel Team Up 59. Spider-Man plus the Yellow Jacket and the Wasp. So Hank Pym is in a bad way, and yeah. So there we go. I don't know too much to say because I hadn't read any of these. So all right, next book. They just fell. Marvel Team Up 61. Spider-Man and the Human Torch. Looks like the Thing and Mr. Fantastic and the Human Torch. And I just noticed that invisible bubble around Spider-Man's head. So they're trying to kill him. Spider-Man and Wonder Man. This is number 78. Fighting the Griffin again. Alright, so that's gonna do it for my Marvel Team Up. I got a whole bunch more, but yeah, this will be a long video if I went through all of them. So what I'm gonna do next is go through some of my Marvel 2-in-1s. So I just started collecting Marvel 2-in-1s probably about a year ago, and I am far from getting all of them, but thanks to Dave's I got a good bit of them. And again, I'm only going to show a few. Marvel 2-in-1 featuring the Thing, Video Wars. This actually reminds me of an old Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends episode where they were playing a video game in the arcade, and one of the characters came to life in the video game. I can't remember the name of the villain, but that's what that reminds me of. Of course, this is going back to Pac-Man and Popeye and all those other books, video games. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and Iron Man. The clutches of a velociraptor or a dinosaur, somebody, don't know. Pterodactyls in the background. Marvel 2-in-1 96. The Thing is in the slump, and I want to say those are mole men that the superheroes are fighting outside the room. That's a very brave nurse, to say the least. Marvel 2-in-1 number 70. Do it like this, put 2 or 3 of them up. Marvel 2-in-1 36. Thing and Mr. Fantastic. Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 4. Thing and Black Bolt. 48 big pages. Big pages. Marvel 2-in-1 Thing and the Human Torch. Now I heard the story about Marvel 2-in-1 as well as Marvel Team Up a long time ago. I can't remember the story specifically on Marvel 2-in-1, but Marvel Team Up was more or less a gateway for other characters that might not have been as popular to be teamed up with Spider-Man to see how well that book did in terms of sales. Not really sure, but I know Marvel 2-in-1 primarily had the Thing, and then from this spawned a Thing miniseries, and I want to say there was a Thing series that started after the miniseries. So Marvel 2-in-1 68. Thing and Warren Worthington III, aka Angel. Marvel 2-in-1 69, one of my favorite groups from the Marvel Comics universe. Guardians of the Galaxy, the old school old school Guardians of the Galaxy. And that is going to be it for the Marvel 2-in-1s. Now, lastly, I am going to show the AOK that I got from my brother in comics, aka Sean Stay Puft 1983 and Varangian Vigilante. I'm going to start with the letter that Sean wrote. Al, hope you enjoy these X-Men books to add to your X-Men collection. The Batgirl Purple Rain from from VV is included, and I threw in an extra book that I had 2 copies of. Thanks for being a great guy and friend, and for also including me into the comic haul. Sean Stay Puft 1983. Sean, you one of the coolest cats, man, that I met on Instagram, and one day we will meet, hopefully, soon. But thank you so much for the books. So what he sent me, folks, were 3 books that I did not have in reference to X-Men. X-Men Legacy 221. I don't have but maybe like 1 or 2 X-Men Legacy books. My goal is to collect all the X-Men titles, volume 1, from beginning to end, from the first issue to the end. The only 2 X-Men books that I'm actually lacking would be Uncanny, which I'm short like 42 books, and X-Force, X-Force and X-Men Volume 1, the Jim Lee run. But for each one of those, I might be short like 16 to 20 issues. For Uncanny Volume 1, it's like 40 issues. Now this includes Excalibur, it includes New Mutants, it includes X-Factor, Generation X, which I have completed those runs for each one of those, as well as Alpha Flight Volume 1. So I have all of those from first issue to the last. So once I get the collection complete for at least X-Men Volume 1 and X-Men X-Men Volume 1, X-Force Volume 1, and X-Men #1. I'm sorry, y'all, I got a lot on my mind. But once I get those complete, then I'm going to jump on X-Men Legacy and complete that run. But shout out to Sean for providing me these books. And all these books have some dope covers. I don't know who the artist is, but whoever the artists are, or whoever there is, or whoever he or she is, they actually earned their keep on these. This is X-Men Legacy 238, Rogue and Magneto. Rogue and Magneto have had history before, back in the 90s when Jim Lee took over the art while they were over in the Savage Land, and I think both Rogue and Magneto lost their powers during that time, so they were actually in a romantic relationship back then. But this is a dope cover nonetheless. And finally, X-Men Legacy 251, where it appears Magneto has his powers back, and he's about to lay the smackdown on Professor X's son, Legion, aka Gabriel Holler. So it looks like he's about to put that magnetic tempest to him, but they're dope covers nonetheless. The last book that Sean got me, I was actually not expecting, but this is a dope cover nonetheless. And if I can find the earlier issues, I might try to jump into it, but hers been pretty good. Shout out to Fresh Princess on IG, Anika. She actually is a huge proponent, as is Sean. This is Far Sector number 8. This is an In-Hook Lee variant. This is a dope cover, and I may just get into this book. I'm not quite sure, but if I can find the first few issues and not have to spend an arm and a leg or break the bank for them, then I'll probably get them. So those are the books that I got from Stay Puft. Once again, thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. And last but not least, this is the book that I received from Varangian Vigilante, aka VV. This book right here was dope, And Sean showed it on his IG when he first got it, but I figured since I got it, I will go ahead and show it on my video. But this is Frecia Verde, and it's actually Green Lantern, not Green Lantern, but Green Arrow. And I want to say this is an Italian book. I can't remember. If it's not German, it's Italian, but it's a Green Arrow German or an Italian variant. And of course, if you are familiar with pop culture, specifically Prince, you would know that this is an homage to Purple Rain. Now, a few months back, Vivi sent me a Deadpool German variant, which I promptly took to my local comic store, sent off to CGC, and ended up getting a 9.6. So I plan on doing the same with this one, and it has put me on a path to obtain Prince cover variants. I have a Bitterroot, which is a Purple Rain variant. I'm going to get that slab, and I'm also going to look for Batgirl 40. I'm going to see if I can find a slab for a decent price, like a 9.6 or 9.8. If I can't, then I'll look for one raw in the wild. But my goal is any Purple Rain movie variants that are out there within my price range, I'm going to try to scoop them up. But that's actually going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching the video. Again, y'all have to forgive me because I got a lot of stuff on my mind, but everything is all gravy. But for the most part, I do hope that you all enjoy this video. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and share. We are coming to you with some new stuff. Hopefully we'll have some more haul videos, of course some live streams coming, and yeah, we hope to bring you some more stuff eventually. But anyway, this is Al from the Comic Hall and Roundtable Discussion. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you. You take care. Be safe. Peace.